Hi, and welcome to Revelations TV. Today I'm going to rave about a little company that has grown in excess of 17,000% in the last 3 years. That's right, you heard me correct. Their growth has exceeded 17,000% since 2006. The company is ModCloth, www.modcloth.com. Now, the founders, Susan Greg Koger and her husband, Eric Koger, have made this company great thanks to their zero-gravity thinking. You see, Susan has always been passionate about vintage clothing, even as a little girl when she dressed up in her grandmother's closet. By the time she was 16, she was out shopping at all kinds of vintage stores, buying up clothes, even if they weren't her size, just so she could have the deals for her friends. Eric helped her build a website at 16, and she had a little hobby business where she would share her treasures with others and make a little money on the side. When they both attended Carnegie Mellon, her dorm room ended up looking more like a warehouse for vintage fashion than a dorm room, and her business grew. Well, by 2006, when Eric and Susan graduated, she decided she was going to turn her hobby into her business, and ModCloth was born. Now, ModCloth is a fashion community that sells vintage clothing, but it's founded on a very zero-gravity principle, especially in fashion. You see, those of us, we know that the fashion industry has always had a very few buyers and experts who decide what we will wear, what's trendy, what looks good, and whether it looks good on all of us doesn't really matter. They decide. Well, Susan had a different idea. She wanted a fashion community that was all about democracy, where her buyers could vote on what they wanted to see, they could rate fashions, tell her what they wanted, and she could supply them with what they wanted and desired. What a concept. And so she built ModCloth to be just that kind of community. She and Eric built a website where you can go in and you can rank things, you can see fashion, you can pick your favorite kinds of fashions, easily find other fashions like that. And most of all, as a community, everybody shares their opinions, their beliefs, what they like, what they don't. And guess what? Susan goes out and finds her inventory based on what her customers want and what she loves. Now, they also took an approach where ModCloth is driven by social media. They have over 60,000 followers in the social media world, and they have a vibrant community that talks about their site, talks about their clothes, talks about fashion, talks about anything and everything, and follows them. So they are indeed communicating with their audience in the most natural way for today, which is, of course, through social media. Now, the other thing that Susan did is she's expanded her clothing line. After she got started, she found that she just couldn't keep enough inventory out of pure vintage clothing lines. She couldn't find the right sizes. She couldn't find everything for her customers. So she went out and found small independent designers who were making vintage type clothing. A, she got better inventory and opportunities and products for her customers, but B, she loved the idea of helping those other small businesses, and that's exactly what she's still doing today. Now, ModCloth in 2006, in their first year of operation, did $90,000 in business. In 2009, Susan and Eric did $15.6 million. That's right, from 90,000 to 15.6 million in 3 years. That, my friends, is high velocity growth. And here is a big rebel yell, Yahoo! For Susan and Eric, for taking their passion and turning it into profit, for shifting the gravity in a very gravity-ridden space called fashion, and for stepping out and finding new ways to communicate with and provide for their customers. Go check out ModCloth. You will love what they're doing.